You found yourself on another edition of Let 'Em Know Kings United, and on today's episode, the Sacramento Kings were in complete control for 3 quarters, showing ruthless aggression, and then turnovers come back to bite the Sacramento Kings as the Kings collapse and the Phoenix Suns rise from the dead, coming back from 21 points down to stun the Sacramento Kings 119 to 117. We got a lot to talk about right here on Let 'Em Know Kings United. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time for the post-game reaction podcast of the Cleveland Cavaliers, Sacramento Kings, and the Chicago Bulls. This is Let 'Em Know Kings United. Let 'em know, Nation. You know what time it is. Welcome to another edition of Let 'em Know Kings United, your Chicago Bulls, Cleveland Cavaliers, and Sacramento Kings post-game reaction podcast. And I am your host, Scarlett Weisberg. Thank you so much for tuning into today's program. And you can find Let 'em Know Kings United, which is 100% completely free and available on Amazon Music, Google Podcast, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Radio Public, Pandora, or wherever else you want to listen to this show. Give the show a follow on those platforms. If you can please turn on your notifications so you know about the next episode. Please rate, spread the word out to your friends, and give Let 'Em Know Kings United a 5-star review on whatever podcast platform you're listening to this on. It is a great way to support the podcast, and I appreciate every single one of you for tuning in. For all of my listeners listening to this on Spotify, if you can please give the show a 5-star review. It goes for Apple Podcasts too, but I currently do not have this show on Apple Podcasts as of right now. But when I do get this show eventually on Apple Podcasts, if you could please give this show a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, I would greatly appreciate it. Well, I was planning on a different title for this show. I was originally planning the title of this show to be Kings Break the Suns with Ruthless Aggression. Did it get to that point? No, it didn't. Instead, I'm going to have to talk about the most embarrassing collapse that I have seen this Sacramento Kings team had in quite some time. They blew a 22-point lead to Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and the biggest bums of the NBA right now, the Phoenix Suns, 119 to 117 in a game where Sacramento should have dominated. They should have dominated. But no, they didn't, because they completely collapsed in the fourth quarter. For 3 quarters of this game, I thought Sacramento played absolutely brilliant. They were sharing the basketball. They were moving the ball. They were making their shots. They were touching the paint. They were scoring in the paint. They got stops defensively. They got out in transition. They responded to every single Phoenix Sun punch that they could ever throw. More specifically, Grayson Allen was the only freaking Phoenix Sun that was scoring at will for 3 quarters for Phoenix. And then Kevin Durant and Devin Booker and Eric Gordon, of all people, found a way to get the rhythm back in the fourth quarter, which I found absolutely pathetic. Is the Sacramento Kings near the end of this game went away from what they were doing. Near the end of this game, for 4+ minutes, the Sacramento Kings could not make a damn shot. They couldn't make a basket to save their lives. And Phoenix ended the game on a 23-4 run. I think it was a 36-8 run or 34-6 run, 36-8 run, something like that, from the 6-minute point in the fourth quarter mark that sparked the Phoenix Suns in a miraculous come back. The Kings led by 22 points with 8 minutes and 22 seconds to play. But Kevin Durant sparked the comeback with a pair of three-pointers in the fourth quarter. I mean, there's nothing that I can say to that. I mean, he's Kevin freaking Durant. He's one of the best scorers in the NBA when healthy. He's one of the best players in the world. He has a wingspan that is simply unguardable. But I never thought I'd say this. I never thought I would say it. I'm going to have to give credit to Frank Vogel and the Phoenix Suns coaching staff because they went to a small lineup in this game, with Kevin Durant playing the 5 early in the fourth quarter. As soon as they did that, Sacramento did not know what to do. Their body language screamed, we want to lose this game. We need to play consistently. I did not see a complete game for Sacramento in the fourth quarter. I saw it for 3 quarters, but in that fourth quarter, we collapsed. Why? Because once again, we turned the ball over. We turned the ball over, we couldn't make any damn free throws, and we didn't show any poise. I don't give a damn about De'Aaron Fox leading all scorers with 32 points. I don't give a damn about Domantas Sabonis having another triple-double. What I do care about is the Sacramento Kings showing some fight, showing some grit, showing some killer instinct. And I never thought I would say it. We do not have a killer instinct in this game. If you want to make me prove my point, look at what the LA Clippers did to the Oklahoma City Thunder. More specifically, Paul George. 18 points in the fourth quarter. If you want to follow an example of what a killer instinct means, just look at the LA Clippers. Right now, the LA Clippers are a better team than what the Sacramento Kings ever been. I never thought I would say it, but I'm just going to be honest. Sacramento, they're not contenders. They're not contenders to go deep in the playoffs. They're not. They're absolute frauds. They are absolute pretenders. And look at the context of what happened. There's no leadership. No accountability. Mike Brown is absolutely terrible with his rotations. Monty McNair is doing absolutely nothing to help this roster. If Sacramento stays quiet in the trade deadline, I am going to lose it. Because Sacramento is so complacent and so relying on an offense, which, by the way, is still good. It's middle of the pack, but still good. But I see some weaknesses from the Sacramento Kings. There are no killer instinct for Sacramento. We cannot make a free throw to save our life. We cannot generate fast break points, and we cannot generate points off turnovers. Why is that? Because we cannot generate stops defensively. This Sacramento Kings team at times has improved on the defensive end. And for most of this game, more specifically for 3 quarters, I thought the Sacramento Kings played with ruthless aggression. Ruthless aggression on both ends. We were scoring on offense, and we were getting stops on the defensive end of the floor. But despite how good we limited Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal for 3 quarters, we couldn't limit one man, and that was Grayson Allen, who tied a franchise record with 9 three-pointers and scored 29 points for Phoenix, who trailed 113-96 before closing the game with a 23-4 run. Durant finished with 27 points. Then he tried to explain how the Phoenix Suns rallied. He said, I have no clue. I usually know how the game is flowing, but I felt like this was a blur. Everything happened so fast. I guess we were all in a zone and locked in. They are a team that likes to play a free-flowing, moving offense, so when you can disrupt up, they turn into a different team. We pressured DeMontis a little bit more. We switched so many screens and made them play one-on-one. I need to give credit to Frank Vogel. They made an adjustment that Sacramento did not have any answer for. They were switching screens and they went into a small lineup. Listen to what Frank Vogel said. We stayed in it. We stayed in the fight mentally. There were a lot of moments where our guys were struggling and frustrated and we were getting our butts kicked. More specifically for 3 quarters. We have seen firsthand that in the modern NBA, teams are never out of the game. We looked at the small lineup. We were going 5 3-point shooters. We finally put Eric in there, Eric Gordon to be more specific, and hit some big threes. All of those guys really stepped up. The small lineup had Eric Gordon and Kevin Durant playing the center spot. The center spot for Kevin Durant. And this Sacramento Kings team did not have any answer to that. Mike Brown said it's a tough way to lose. Give him credit. We played a good 42 minutes. The last 6 minutes, we took some tough shots at the rim. We couldn't score at the rim. Instead of just continuing to move the ball and move some bodies, everything was really stagnant. We turned the ball over. We had no pace in the half court. We were holding the ball a lot. We have to figure it out. Hopefully it's something we can learn from. Here is the freaking answer. Too many ISO. Too many ISO basketball. So many ISO basketball. The last 6 minutes, I saw a selfish Sacramento Kings team, and I saw a Phoenix team that beat them at their own game. They were moving the ball. They were getting some paint touches. They were setting screens. They were cutting. Kevin Durant got hot because of the ball movement from Phoenix. Sacramento, you have failed. You have failed as a team, and you have failed this fan base. This is pathetic. This is absolutely gutless. In Milwaukee, we said, all right, it's a tough loss. Damian Lillard, Giannis Antetokounmpo are pretty damn good. Milwaukee is just a championship caliber team. Let's move on to Phoenix, and hopefully we can respond. Somebody tell me, what the hell is the difference now? What's the problem now? De'Aaron Fox smiling, walking out of a court after blowing a 22-point lead. I shouldn't be smiling. Malik Monk talking and complaining about the officials when a couple weeks ago in the media, you said that the Sacramento Kings were talking to the officials way too much instead of playing the game. What kind of team is the Sacramento Kings? What kind of team do we want to be? Do we want to be a team that just talks the talk? Or do you want to be a team that talks the talk and walks the walk? Because Phoenix, they were wounded. They were wounded for 3 quarters. But you did not have the poise, the discipline, or the killer instinct to kick them while they were down and make sure they stayed down. It was absolutely embarrassing. Embarrassing and pathetic. De'Aaron Fox, who led all scorers with 33 points. But who gives a damn? Domantas Sabonis recorded his 11th triple-double of the season with 21 points, 12 rebounds, 11 assists. It was his 23rd consecutive game with double figures in at least 2 of the columns and his league-high 36th double-double of the season. But who gives an actual damn when you blow a 22-point lead to a Phoenix Suns team that you dominated for 42 minutes? The last 6 minutes, you couldn't do anything. The last 6 minutes, I saw a lot of ISO. A lot of selfish basketball. Too many one-and-done possessions. We couldn't score because we couldn't move the ball. When you move the ball, you generate chances to score. The minute that Phoenix went small, you folded. You folded. You went from sending a message to the rest of the NBA that the Milwaukee loss was an absolute fluke to we are not good. We're average. The LA Clippers look like contenders, and the Sacramento Kings simply are pretenders. We're 23-17. We're still above 500. We're still in a good position. But the way this team is playing right now, Indiana on Thursday is going to walk right over us. And no, they don't have Tyrese Haliburton, but they still have the number one offense in the NBA. And the way that the Sacramento Kings team is playing right now, we are not going to solve the Indiana Pacers offense if we continue to play the way we've been playing. When we generate little to no fast break points, 27-14 fast break points advantage for Phoenix. Pathetic. Points off turnovers, 25-20. Advantage Phoenix. Pathetic. When you lose those kind of stats, you're not winning the game. I don't give a damn if the Sacramento Kings shot 50% from the field or 45% from three. But here's the biggest story. 58% from the foul line and only 12 attempts. Phoenix shot 90% from the foul line and got 20 attempts. What does that tell you? Phoenix was the more aggressive team than you. Clearly. Phoenix wanted it more than you. You wanted it for 3 quarters, but in that fourth quarter when Frank Vogel made the adjustment and they played small, you folded. You fell apart. You went away from what you did for the first 3 quarters. Move the ball, generate baskets, set some action, cutting, getting to the rim, touching the paint, spraying the ball out. You went away from that. You went to isolation and too many one-and-done possessions, and then look what happened. Phoenix got back in it because of your selfishness. There is absolutely no killer instinct from the Sacramento Kings right now. I would rather watch the LA Clippers more than the Sacramento Kings right now. And to be perfectly honest, I'm not going to watch this Sacramento Kings and the Indiana Pacers live. Hell no. I'm going to watch this Sacramento Kings on demand the next freaking day. Because I am sick to my stomach watching this team that was supposed to be the best offense in the NBA from last year to we cannot make free throws, we can't make fast break points, we can't get points off turnovers because we don't know how to lock in defensively and get more stops. I have never seen a team look this lifeless, this pathetic, this embarrassing in all my freaking life. The turnovers in this game, we allowed Phoenix to have 20 turnovers. So for 3 quarters, we did a good job of generating turnovers. But in that fourth quarter, you went away from that and you did your own thing instead of the game plan. The key to winning games in this league is you got to follow a game plan for 48 minutes. And Sacramento, they failed to learn that. They clearly failed. Clearly. So I don't give a damn about the 23-17 record. I don't give a damn about De'Aaron Fox dropping 33 points and Domantas Sabonis having another triple-double. I need to see Sacramento play consistently for 48 minutes. Stick to the game plan and execute. You did that for 3 quarters, but you folded in the fourth. And because of you deciding, you as a team decided to play isolation, selfish basketball instead of moving the ball, touching the paint, spraying the ball out, and forcing Phoenix to work. You allowed Phoenix to come back. You gave Phoenix a game that we should have won. And that to me is disgraceful. That to me is embarrassing. And this is why I am no longer going to be watching the Sacramento Kings live on NBA League Pass. You are getting the on-demand treatment for the rest of the season because that was embarrassing. I am over the Milwaukee loss. Milwaukee, That loss happens when Damian Lillard and Giannis Antetokounmpo are that damn good. In this game, I am embarrassed. I am embarrassed, and I am absolutely disgusted that you allowed Phoenix to come back from 22 points down. You decided to fold for the last 6 minutes. I can't watch a team like that. I can't watch a team that played complete basketball for 3 quarters and folded in the 4th. I need to watch a team that plays consistently for 48 minutes, like the Cleveland Cavaliers right now, and or the LA Clippers. 2 teams that to me are screaming contenders. Sacramento, even though you are 23-17, even though you still have a good record, to me, you're pretenders. You are absolute pretenders. I know you're going to make some moves at the trade deadline, but I need to see it. I need the Sacramento Kings to show me that they have a better mentality. Monty McNair, Mike Brown, the entire Sacramento Kings coaching staff, De'Aaron Fox, Malik Monk, Domas. I need every single member of this Sacramento Kings team to look themselves in the mirror and say something to make this Sacramento Kings team better. Because all they're doing is lip service. There's no accountability. There's no leadership whatsoever. There is no heart. There is no poise with this roster. And as I said before, absolutely no killer instinct. You had the Phoenix Suns wounded. You had a golden opportunity to put them away. But because you folded for 6 minutes, because you decided as a team to play ISO selfish basketball the last 6 minutes, you gave Phoenix a golden ticket to steal the game. Credit to Phoenix. Credit to the Suns' resiliency. But it's more about the Kings beating themselves. Honestly, I don't give a damn about De'Aaron Fox having 33 points, 6 assists, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals. I don't give a damn about Domantas Sabonis having another triple-double, 21 points, 12 rebounds, 11 assists, and a block. Sasha Vezenkov, he did really well off the bench. I'm really proud of him. 14 points. He was 2 for 3 from three-point range, 6 of 9 for the field with 2 rebounds, an assist, and a steal. Really good game coming from him. But Malik Monk, 13 points, 5 of 16 for the field. De'Aaron Fox was 12 of 24 for the field. But back to Malik, 13 points, 8 assists, 3 rebounds. What are we doing? What are we doing? Malik Monk, I thought you were the 6th man of the year. You certainly didn't play like it. You made some big baskets, but I don't see it. I really don't see it. Phoenix, the resilient Suns. Kevin Durant, 27 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 blocks, 4 of 8 from three-point range. He went crazy in the 4th. Grayson Allen, 9 of 14 from 3, 29 points with 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. Devin Booker, 16 points, 11 assists, 4 rebounds. He was 5 of 14 for the field, so we kind of contained him until the 4th quarter. Bradley Beal, 13 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds, 2 steals. Off the bench, Eric Gordon, 13 points, 3 of 7 from 3, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. Nurkic, 10 points, 15 rebounds, 3 assists, and a block. I'm gonna say it like this. Phoenix, you looked like a team that didn't deserve to win, but the Sacramento Kings gave you it. They handed the W to you, and teams like that take advantage of it. Like Frank Vogel said, in the modern NBA, teams are not out of the game. And I credit Phoenix for their resilience and their fight. As far as the Sacramento Kings, you're not getting me watching your games live. They are permanently on demand on NBA League Pass the next day because I am embarrassed, I am disgusted because of the fact that you folded. I am folding from watching the Sacramento Kings live. Figure it out. And I mean figure it out now. Look yourselves in the mirror and ask yourself, what kind of team do you want to be? What's the real identity from Sacramento? If you had a killer instinct and you dominated Phoenix from pillar to post in that fourth quarter, then maybe we would have had a different conversation. But because you folded as a team, because you went away from what you did for 3 quarters, you went isolation basketball, too many one-on-ones, so many one-and-done possessions, so many times that you couldn't make a shot, you didn't move the ball, you didn't spray the ball, and look what happened. Phoenix stole a win from Sacramento because Sacramento defeated Sacramento. It's not about the Phoenix Suns beating the Kings. The Kings beat the Kings. Find your killer instinct. Find your mentality. Find some damn leadership on this roster, and then maybe I'll go back to watching the Sacramento Kings live. But that was embarrassing. The Kings beat the Kings, and I'll end the show with that. That's going to do it for this edition of Let 'Em Know Kings United. You can find this show on Amazon Music, Google Podcast, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Radio Public, Pandora, or wherever else you want to listen to this show. Give the show a follow on those platforms. Turn on your notifications so you know about the next episode. Please rate, spread the word out to your friends, and give Let 'Em Know Kings United a 5-star review on whatever podcast platform you want to listen to this on. For all my Spotify and Apple Podcast listeners, if you can give the show a 5-star review on Spotify and Apple Podcast, I would truly greatly appreciate it. I am your host, Scarlett Weisberg, and I will see you right back here for another edition of Let 'Em Know Kings United.